What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Tonight on the table in front of us is a new knife to the channel. It is not a new knife overall. It's been out for a little while. This is the Artisan Ravine, and I am a very, very happy guy. So I actually got this at Blade Show West. I picked it up directly from the Artisan table. Thank you very much, Russell. This is just one of those interesting designs that has spoken to me since the first time I saw it, and I just never managed to get my hands on one. But then I did. It is very, very good. The ergonomics are, well, they've got no business being as comfortable as this knife is. It looks funky, but I'll tell you, hanging on to the actual handle itself is very comfortable for push cuts. Choking up on the choil is really comfortable. It is excellent for draw cuts because of this beautiful tip down here at the end of this marvelous blade. I mean, you can just, well, I'll tell you what, man, this thing is a razor blade, and it is very thin behind the edge because of all this distance between the top of the blade. It's not super thick stock to begin with, and down here at the cutting edge, they just did a marvelous job here. It is bead blasted on these flats, and the logo is actually cut out, which I think is super cool. Deployment is by way of the flipper, and it is very good at that. You can middle finger flick it if you get your finger in the right spot up here, but a minute ago in a video that I'm not going to show you, I tried 3 times and screwed it up, so I'm not going to do that, but I was doing it today while I was carrying it. It rides the pocket very well because it is very thin. It is less than ½ inch through the handle. It is a little thick from the top of the blade to the spine of the handle. Let's take a look. We are looking at, I guess, about 1.75 inches this way, which is a fair amount. But they rolled it in this way so the flipper tab doesn't poke you in the pocket too bad, which is very nice. It does have one thing that I don't love, and that is this pocket clip. Now, don't get me wrong, it is well made. Plenty of lift, good ramp, good spring. But when this thing is in the pocket, there is a lot of knife sticking out, including some blade, which is, well, just not my favorite, really. But I'll tell you something. I had this thing in my pocket all day today, as I tend to do when I get a new knife, and I didn't mind. Sometimes I would. This would be enough to keep me from buying a knife, but for some reason, this thing is so bizarre and so interesting that I just didn't care that the pocket clip is mounted so low on the frame. I don't know. Even my own rules are up for my own interpretation as new knives come along. I love the way this thing looks. It is half science fiction, half murder mystery knife. It is all useful. It is just such a really funky and cool design. Well, what do you get? Well, let's take a look. It's a nice flat blade, so it's easy to lay out accurately. You get 1, 2, right? 3/4 of cutting surface. You get, depending on where you are here, you get 3.5 or 4 inches of S35 VN. The blade is very tall this way. It is, what is it? It is 1, 2, is it? So I guess it's 1 3/4 this way, which is very nice. But I like blades like that. In fact, I like everything about this. I mean it. And maybe I said this in the other video, I'm not sure, so I'm going to say it again. This knife has no business being as comfortable as it is. It looks super funky, but in hand, it is really something else. The way they did this shape right through here, when you lock your thumb in right on top of that blade, it is stellar for push cuts. I know I chopped up some cardboard at work today, doing a favor for where I work, and as an opportunity to test out the knife. Draw cuts on this thing are otherworldly. You could either lock your hands back here, or if you had smaller hands, you get up here on the choil. Your finger sits perfectly along this top of the blade right here. And because of the way that it's shaped, you've got this beautiful edge for draw cuts. It is very good and very useful. There is one other thing that I don't love. The detent ball is very low. And what I mean is, after you break it loose, it has a natural stop point that's right there. And you kind of have to push it past that. So it will drop shut. But because of how big my thumbs are, I actually have to get it past this point before it'll drop shut. Otherwise, it hangs. That's actually caught me a couple of times today trying to drop this thing shut. But with practice, that will become something that I manage no problem. Let's do a size comparison while we're sitting here. What do I have? Well, I certainly have the small Rat Model 2. As you can see, it is considerably bigger than that. I don't know where my Rat Model 1 is. So you're not going to get the full experience. But as you can see, it is considerably bigger than this knife. It's just a big knife, and I like big knives. Well, I guess that's about it. There's going to be a few videos coming out. I did pick up some things at Blade West, and I will share them with you as we go. This is right up there with the Megatherium, as far as I'm concerned, for interesting designs. If you like unique knives that are exceptionally functional, despite all the weirdness, the Artisan Ravine is an excellent choice. This thing is very good. Anyway, this has been the Artisan Ravine. I have been a Therapeutic Edge. You have been my amazing audience. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I'd love to have you here on a regular basis. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. It does mean the world to me. Feel free to like this video on your way out, and we'll see you next time.